There is a voice inside of your head that wants to keep you safe. It's always going to want to avoid risk. It's always going to want to avoid confrontation. It's always going to want to avoid discomfort. But anybody who ever achieved anything of substance had to listen to what that voice had to say and then had to act regardless. Most people are stuck because comfort is ruining their potential. I was a victim of this for, I would say, probably the first like 20 to like early 20s basically. And it's because the human wants comfort. The human does not want risk. The human wants to be safe. But to reach the best version of yourself and to achieve things which most people will never be able to achieve, you can't rely on that primal version of yourself, of your mind, to dictate your actions. Because if you do, you will always avoid discomfort, you'll always avoid fear and uncertainty. And when you avoid those things, you cage yourself in more and more to never actually achieve anything great. If we take the example of the human biology and how it likes satiating, hyperpalatable foods, that is a natural desire that we have. But it's not therefore healthy to overindulge in these ultra-processed foods. In fact, it's deadly. It's literally deadly. It's killing people's, physical health, their mental health. It's the same concept, right? There is a natural desire for the human to want to be safe and feel comfortable and go for the safe option and stick with the 9 to 5 and never actually take any risk. But you will never amount to anything if you never take risks. Failure is a prerequisite for success. If you want to avoid failure, you might as well just avoid success, because you will literally avoid success. I remember growing up, I was taught a lot of lessons about myself that made me feel like I was really dumb for getting things wrong, which made me not want to get things wrong, and the best way to do that was to never try anything. But that cycle is the reason why you'll never amount to anything. It is the reason why you'll stay stupid. It is the reason why you'll never have skills. Because if you never try anything, you can be happy that you never lost technically, but your life is worth nothing because you did nothing with it. This topic is actually, like, I get very passionate about this topic because when I think about, inshallah, when Allah gives me children, what kind of lessons do I want to instill in them? I think about this one as a big one. I want them to make as many mistakes as possible, and I want to encourage, not necessarily mistakes, but I want to encourage attempts, regardless of win or failure. I want to incentivize attempts on doing something for my children when I have them, inshallah. Because I think that's the single biggest thing which really determines success. Most people are not willing to try things because they don't want to look stupid. But guess what? Not trying anything, not learning from looking stupid will literally mean that you will be stupid because you didn't learn anything. It's crazy because as Muslims, I always think about this. As Muslims, we have more and more advantages. And this is me speaking to myself first and foremost. That's why I think I get passionate about these things, because I'm actually just talking to myself. I'm actually just trying to reframe my own brain. Allah Azza wa Jal has created this whole dunya. Like, just think about that, ikhwan. Allah created this whole dunya. Allah created every rule of physics that we see today. Allah determined the rules of this whole thing. And yet we feel like we are limited. How can we as Muslims feel like we are limited? How can we feel hopeless when Allah Azza wa Jal has the answer to every problem? So when we avoid discomfort, when we avoid taking risks, in a way we are undermining Allah Azza wa Jal's ability. We are undermining it because Say you know you need to leave your 9 to 5 because what you do right now is haram. Let's say you work in a restaurant where you're serving alcohol. You know you need to leave that. Your money is haram. If you are serving alcohol, your money is haram, right? Now, I've heard people tell me in the past that I have to pay the bills, so I have to work. I have to work this job. I can't find another job, I have to pay the bills. Logically, their brain is telling them, if I leave this job, then I'm in trouble. But as a Muslim, Allah Azza wa Jal, you have to have that belief. If I leave this for Allah's sake, He will replace it with something better. That's called having conviction in Allah. Having tawakkul, having full trust that He will change your situation. He will give you better than what you have today. I'm telling this to myself firstly because I think that just naturally as humans we can fall into traps when things aren't going our way, especially in the journey of entrepreneurship and sales and making money online. You start thinking some months aren't very good. Are there good opportunities out there for me? Am I going to be able to succeed in this? You are not going to be able to do anything, but Allah can do everything. And so how much do you ask Allah? This is me, I'm talking to myself here. How much do I actually take time out, pray to my Lord? Because He has the answers. He literally has the answers. Everything that I worry about, everything that I complain about, everything that I fear for in the future, Allah Azza wa Jal has the solution to it. How can I as a Muslim, how can we as Muslims ever feel hopeless? How can we ever feel limited? Now fear is normal. These are feelings we can't control. But the successful are those people who act regardless of how they feel, because number one, they tie their camel, and number two, they put their full trust in Allah. How can we as Muslims have a limited mindset? Subhanallah. The thing is, if we all changed this mindset, if we all changed how we were thinking, it would benefit the Muslim Ummah. If everybody thought bigger, if everybody unlocked the chains of their mind. You see all of these non-Muslims. This is what's funny, subhanallah, right? There are non-Muslims out there who will make their gods, the universe. The universe will give it to you, believe it. And they have so much conviction, ikhwa. They have so much conviction in that, with no evidence, with no logic. But they act in a way where they have so much conviction in the thing, and they end up getting the thing. Because their actions aligned in a way which is going to get them the thing. We as Muslims already know who it is that's going to give us the thing that we're looking for. Why are we waiting? Why are we passive in our approach? We need to aggressively go out there and get what we want out of life. So many Muslims have this limited mindset around money, which is that money is bad. Chasing money, being successful, all of these things are, you're chasing the dunya. And yes, of course, there's a level to that. But the reality is look how much wrongdoing happens from a scarcity mindset when you don't have money, when you don't have resources. Look how much wrong actually happens. And so making money online, being the best version of yourself, being entrepreneurial, whatever it may be, that can actually be a way for you to get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal. I left my 9-to-5 job, right? I was working in an environment where there were men and women. I was working in an environment where it was all kuffar, all non-Muslims. That environment compared to me working remotely online in sales, forget the money aspect of it, right? I have already, through my environment, come closer to Allah Azza wa Jal, because I'm away from those environments which did not bring me closer to Allah. Right now, I actually work with a Muslim company. Alhamdulillah, it allows me to get closer to my deen. But even if I wasn't in a Muslim company, working remotely, and let's say, inshallah, you're able to make hijrah, right? Making money online, in sales, whatever it may be. Now you've completely changed your physical environment to be in a Muslim country. Subhanallah. I say all of this to say, this life is really short. This life is really short, ikhwa. We only have so many years, and time is ticking. And the longer you wait right now, akhi, the longer the people that you love suffer. Get rid of the chains on your mind that are limiting you to just sticking to the status quo, to just sticking to what's average. Because as Muslim men today, each one of us, we have so much potential. And how will we end our lives knowing that we did not do everything in our power to unlock the full potential, when so many people, not only just the people that we love, but the people of this Muslim ummah needed our potential? How will we answer for that? That is a scary, scary thought. There are people in the world who have way less than you. If they were given half the resources that you have, they would be able to achieve way more than you have. It's a reminder for me, firstly, to stop limiting myself and break the chains of limiting beliefs, because they will crush you. And alhamdulillah, every single time in my life where I looked at a limiting belief and I acted in the opposite way, because I knew that the opposite way was going to align with my action, like align with my values, alhamdulillah, Allah Azza wa Jal always looked after me, and I got the thing that I wanted. And I think that, especially in entrepreneurial sales, whenever you're trying to look to get to the next level, that next beast gets bigger. It's another scary monster that's even bigger than the previous one. So you have to go through this whole battle again. But the rule remains the same, which is that Allah Azza wa Jal will always look after you. No matter what happens, if you put your trust in Allah, you make your dua, and you tie your camel, you cannot lose. Ya ikhwa, we cannot lose as Muslims. We need to wake up. We need to tap into our full potential. We need to make the most money we can make. We need to be in the best shape of our lives. We need to be in the best headspace of our lives. We need to be the best version of ourselves to make this Muslim ummah great again. There are people in the world who are suffering because we are not getting up off our backsides and changing and helping them. We need to switch up. That's it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.